a recap of Spurs away and the fan forum. I think we're going to upset a few people tonight. All right, hello and welcome to the Matchday Frogs YouTube channel. As always, please remember to smash that like button, hit subscribe, because it really does make a difference to the channel. We're here this evening to talk about the upcoming game at St Mary's Stadium against Leeds United, but also have a look back at the horrifying display at the London Stadium against Tottenham Hotspurs, but also have a recap of what we heard last night at the St Mary's Stadium for the fan forum. And I've got a feeling there's going to be quite a few people out there that want to have a few words and let us know their opinions. As always, let us know where you're watching the show from in the comments section. We're also going to be doing trialing a call-in feature using Twitter, using whatever it's called. I'm not quite sure. What is it called?
It's just a Twitter space. Twitter space. I guess that's what we're going to call it.
Yeah. There we go. We just found out that it also creates an echo on my end. But there we go. We're working through all these kind of things. But what we'll do is we'll have a quick run through about everything we learned at the Spurs game, and then perhaps invite a few people on via the Twitter space to have their thoughts, and also hear from the guys in the comments section as always. So let's have a look. Who's in the room already? We got Visnell's in the room. Jack's been shopping today.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, actually, before I forget, it's a special day today, isn't it, Jack?
Well, in some people's minds, it's a special day. Mainly just me. Mum thinks it's pretty special, but to the rest of the world, it's just Hulk Hogan's birthday. It's Hulk Hogan and Joe Rogan's birthday today, guys. So happy birthday to those guys.
Look at that. But it is the Jack's birthday, and he is 18 all over again. Have you had a good day, Jack? It looks like you've been shopping for a new shirt.
You know what? I've had a pretty Southampton-rific day. Do you know what I mean? So we went to Southampton really early, got there just to beat the sun a little bit. I try to make a pilgrimage every year to go and buy the home shirt. So
yeah.
And then when I was in there, we just saw this one. I was like, it is my birthday, guys. It is my birthday, So so I've completed this year's collection. So I should hopefully be outfit point for every game you see me at. If I'm not wearing the correct shirt, it means I've just
the actual shirt of the game.
Not looked properly. I didn't get Lianco on the back of this just yet. I couldn't be bothered to be in the sun for that long today, but there'll probably be a game soon where Lianco will go on the back of this one. I guess put in the comments who's going on the other two. Not Bednarak.
Is there if there's a comment that goes in this video, is there like a like total that would make you get Bednarak on the shirt?
I mean, it'd have to be a ridiculous amount. I'm not
going to pursue that. That's the cruelest thing I've ever done to you. So I'm going to end it there.
Here's the thing: like when I saw the matey on Twitter do that, I thought that's really funny. But now you actually have to spend your money on getting Bednarak put on your shirt, and I'm all one for a joke and a laugh. That's not really funny.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough one. I did a bit of a naughty thing, really, didn't I? Because I put, if this gets 100 likes, I'll get this, and it was a Rebo number 7. It's like,
yeah, it wasn't like
not really a punishment, is it?
It wasn't a make or break situation for you, was it? Yeah. It was. I was probably going to get Haribo on the back of this anyway. No, I definitely am.
Let's tweet the back of the shirt that I actually want and see what happens. There we go. But yes, Keeks has already jumped in saying, why don't you get Nathan Teller on the back of the shirt?
Yeah.
Have you got the sleeve things on it?
No JD Sport or Premier League. Still no JD Sport added to it. I'm assuming this is all old stock. What can you do? We're all making our best out here. Speaking of Nathan Teller, before we've put that announcement video from Burnley.
I know, right?
Pretty fantastic. Fair play to the guys. It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Awesome. Right, well, we're going to do this like we're ripping the band-aid off, really, and have a chat about the Spurs away game, where unfortunately we came out second best. I think that's probably fair to say. It wasn't the greatest display I think we've seen. It started off very promisingly, but Spurs were really at it in the first few, 10-15 minutes, and we kind of I thought on the ball we looked okay, but when we didn't have the ball, it was just horrendous. And I think the frustrating thing for me was the fact that, we had 5 defenders, but 3 of them were Gineppo, Bednarek, and Valerie, which,
And
they'd
Jack
hardly been.
Stevens.
Well, yeah, to rub salt on the walls, Jack Stevens came on as well. But that was the thing. I think also rolling back to the fan forum last night, it's the fact that Ralph said he didn't pick Shea Adams based on merit in pre-season. If that's the case, how on earth did Bednarek start?
Yeah, it's I'm sure we're going to get into it right here in the show about Ralph and certain players and what the old vibe is right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we all saw a backline that we all kind of like, and Bella Kotchap was in there, Salasu was in there, and he is kind of right about Gineppo in that position. He did have a good preseason, but it shows that preseason doesn't mean anything. In Ralph's defense as well, Peru did have a knock. He couldn't play.
Yep.
And what other fullbacks do we have?
There was injured.
Lianco was injured as well.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that thinks if Lianco, another way to have gone to it, I guess, would instead of putting Valerie in the middle of the park, swap Kyle Walker-Peters on the wings again and try and there are other ways you could have gone about it rather than trying to push people into positions that they don't play. And I guess again that'll be another thing we get into later about Ralph putting players into positions that they don't want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And it did kind of reek of that against Tottenham. You just, especially that second half, we weren't playing with a striker on the pitch. The substitution change. There was a lot of things to just be worried about. But when we actually had the ball, there were some really good, I thought, passage of play. When those few moments when we had the ball on our feet and we were moving and doing stuff, there were a few clever little runs there and some stuff that, if there was an attacking threat at the front of that, maybe something could have happened. But it just wasn't there, was it? It was a great opening 15 minutes. So we had a great time when that first goal went in. It's made for a fantastic new profile picture. I love it dearly, but it was just difficult from then on. Oh, look at it.
Look how happy we were. Look at that.
It's insane.
23 in. So happy.
There are moments in time when you think that was the last time I was happy. And I kind of think that from this week, that might be the last time I was happy until today, where birthday. That's cheered me right up. But I think until that moment, that was the happiest I've been recently, and then just bottomed out like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, it's kind of. But as it ended, I thought the capitulation in the second half was particularly woeful. It just sort of painted a picture that we weren't really at it. Gineppo was having players go past him with absolute ease, and there was just far too many crosses coming into the box. And when you're up against the front three, which is arguably maybe the best front three in the league, it was just a matter of time. But I think we've conned Tottenham into thinking they're better than they are, because we were dreadful defensively. So we sort of lured them in to be hammered by Chelsea at the weekend. That's the only positive I can take.
That only makes matters worse when they get absolutely stuffed this weekend. Everyone's like, well, look how poorly they did the next weekend, and we lost 4-1 to them. So that's only going to pour petrol on the fire. But I think Spurs do look like a really good squad this season. There's a lot of, we are all upset, and I can understand why people are frustrated. If you're taking form from last season into this season with us and opening like that, but we do have to write off last season. That season is now over, and we are now in a new bit. We are now in a new season, so this is where we start from, and it is opening game of the season.
Yeah,
and we, have to just try and pick our heads up and move on from this. It's going to be a really tough August. We know that. So, getting this hung up on the first game, it's a dangerous place to be in.
Yeah.
The Southampton Twitter world right now is a pretty spicy place to be. But
it's absolute fire. Just one positive from that game was Romeo Lavia had a fantastic game, and some of his passing was just extraordinary. So I'm very excited to see him progress and see how that's going to work. But I think the formation change, you alluded it in last night's video, in the sense that effectively that was to suit the new players who haven't learned the new system of the 4-2-2-2. But I still think it was probably a bit weird to change the system to something so alien, and the fact that a lot of those other players knew how to do that, and even with 3 centre-backs and 2 arguably CDMs, we conceded 4 goals, twice the amount that any other team in the Premier League conceded at the weekend. So
Yeah, it is.
disappointing.
Well, yeah, we right, but going out of last night, that was one of the things at the forum for me that I was like, that sounds so strange that you're gonna change the whole team system to fit the new younger players.
Yeah.
And we get to the end of that game, and that player definitely was the standout, but you've just crippled. Like, has Ralph just crippled the rest of the team in the hope to get these new boys up and playing? I think there's a lot of sort of mentality and conspiracy theories that we'll definitely get into throughout this show. But if we're just talking just about this game, you're right. That formation just. Why would you choose something that fits just one set of players rather than try and do something that everyone can sort of glob onto? I mean, to put us in maybe like a 4-3-3 rather than the 4-2-2-2. So adapt it a little bit, make it a little bit wider with that one that top and the wingers playing, but let's not change that back line that we've suited to so much. Even if you like, I think Ralph's just kind of nervous not to put Ori and Romeo, and Lavia on the same pitch. I don't know why he's trying to. The fact that he said that Romeo is an attacking midfielder just sounds like I need Ori in this squad. He's one of the best players that we've got, so I need him on this pitch. So I'm going to make him sound like a slightly more attacking player. When in reality, you need one or the other on the pitch.
Yeah,
because Ori doesn't offer anything going forward, and if he's only concentrating forward and he's not going back, he's pretty much dead in the water, really. Like, and it's just that was really clear. You didn't notice him at all, and then to bring Diallo on.
All the substitutions were weird.
All the substitutions were just terrible.
The fact he brought on Redmond for... Who did he bring him on for again?
Didn't he?
Right at the very end. It was literally...
Was it Gineppo? Was it take Gineppo off?
It might have been. I can't remember. But he was literally on for the last 2 minutes. I was like, well, what's the point in that? What is the point in that? You 4-1 down. That's just going to fuel the fire of those Redmond haters out there to go, it doesn't do anything. Which had 2 minutes, but there we go. Looking through the comments section, I know you were talking about the fact that we got a write off last season, but it does set a trend, and I think Sheffield United did it a few seasons back, where effectively they ended the season horrifically, and then that just perceived into the following season, and we all know what happened from there. Really, Venom F1X sort of alludes to that one win in 14. I mean, our return from those 14 games is pretty bad. I think it was like 4 points out of a potential 40 something. So
yeah,
it's not great.
It's not. And that form, it was so bad in the last season, and it stank so much, and it lingered. And it's absolutely understandable why it's, after the game one, we're like, oh my God, it's still here. We're still doing this. What's going on?
Yeah.
But still first game of the season. Like, I can't be completely.
No one's surprised that we lost to Spurs.
No.
Okay. No one's surprised, but it's just the way that we did it was very poor.
It's really poor. We mentioned mentality at the game last night, and they at the forum last night, and they said, they give 100%. Does it like the Spurs last season, that was 100%. If that game finished 3-3 or 3-2 to them, or we didn't get those last 2 goals back, you would still look at that game and be like, wow, they put in an amount of great effort tonight. They really tried.
Yeah.
That compared to, with Saturday, it's not the same thing. And I don't know if it's because they're clueless, or the mentality is gone, or the coaching hasn't been there, or they're still getting used to these new ideals, and there's a new coaching staff, so everything's changed so much this summer that it's going to take a minute or two to adapt to, which, let's be fair, there's a lot of new players in, there's new systems, so you would expect a hiccup in that situation.
Yeah,
playing
a bit of time.
with Spurs. That's the thing. That's all I'm protesting for, mate. Just a little bit more time. I get why people are angry. I see why people are angry, and I'm sure when we talk about the forum later, we'll try and talk around that as well. But I think there's just a slightly more level head to it here. Of just like, listen, I'm still celebrating the new shirt. I can't be giving up on their form already. Like, let's
Let's not do this to Jack on his birthday.
You
Let's
know,
let's let's keep it light.
we've got a transfer window to finish yet. We've got a really tough August to get out of before we start playing. Some slightly easier team. We've got Leeds this weekend. That's going to be a big show. If it's a terrible performance against Leeds, if it's like a Brentford performance, which we all know how Ralph thinks of that performance now, it will tell you more where we are.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I've got to restrain a bit of the, oh, for God's sake, what we've done this before until I can actually give them a chance.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Daniel here. Everyone should like this video. Where's the sport? Yeah. Smash that like button. Great idea. This broadcast is sponsored by matchdayvlogs.com. Yet to have a sponsor, so go check out the website. Go check out the merch. We wear our own merch. We wear our own merch.
I like to think I sponsor you and you sponsor me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Until the money comes in, and then I'm gone.
Indeed. Yes. Right. Should we crack on to Leeds? I got a feeling the fan forum thing is going to go on a while. So I'll be honest. I've done a crazy amount of work on prepping for Leeds at home, just because it's really just purely the headlines, really, in terms of what we know. For the likes of Rafinha has moved on. Help me out. It was the CDM that they lost to Man City.
Calvin Phillips.
Calvin Phillips, thank you so much. So many names in football. Lots of Phillips as well. So they've lost Calvin Phillips, but they have recouped some signings and have looked okay in pre-season, and also beat Wolves at home. I believe they came back from 1-0 down. So similar kind of story to us in regards of overturning a opposition. Well, we didn't overturn opposition. We got overturned by an opposition, but them winning at home. So already they've got a bit of a foothold on the Premier League. Would it be fair to say that a lot of people were they have Leeds down as a relegation candidate?
Yeah, they do. I think
broad question to start.
There's a lot of I think right now in the Prem, there's so many teams that could. And so many uncertainties. Like we were even saying last night, Leicester, no signings. It was strong for the last season, and they've got nothing really coming in and going out. They could struggle as well. But I don't. Everton, all the teams that came up, it's going to be tight.
Everyone,
down there.
Isn't it?
It's everyone. So that's why we all know that these are the games that we need to go in and win. But you're right, Leeds. I'm sure a lot of people would put them to go down, but I think they would have done that last season. I think there is that kind of thing with Jody Marsh where it's just an American in the league. I think people are just always unsure of that. I do actually think, considering that I'm not Ralph out and I'm actually a fan of when Ralph Ball works, and Jesse Marsh has come through the same pretty much system of Gegenpress Press and the RB system, and that's I like that system. I like that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I quite rate it.
We should be better at than it. I think it was a bit of a when we played them away at Ellen Road, I mean, we looked so off the pace for the first 30 minutes. It was quite terrifying to watch, really, in terms of how quick they were around us. So I'm a little bit nervous about this one, especially where we are in terms of our momentum, and with the fact that we don't really know what system we're going to play at the weekend. And I think when we roll back to when we had success, it's the same thing. It's literally, you could pick the starting 11, the formation, you just knew it. But when we go through this period of not knowing whether we're going to play 3-5-2, or we're going to work with fullbacks or wingbacks, or we're going to have however many in central midfield, or we're going to play without a striker, all these kind of mad things that sort of come to fruition. So I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. Should we get on with the lineup prediction? Should we jump in there?
This is going to be difficult, isn't it? Yeah, let's take a look at the lineups, because you're right. It's that consistency is completely gone out the window. We always say that when we're at our best, we know what lineup to pick, and right now we don't know formation. I don't even know. And even if you pick a formation, you're like, right, okay, we're going to go for the three at the back. Let's say we're going to go three at the back because that's what Ralph is definitely like. I think that's what he wants.
Yeah.
I don't know what the best back three is. I don't know quite what the centre of the park should look like. I don't know what striker he's going to. There's a lot of just absolute unknowns.
Yeah.
I mean, are we
Don't do
doing
ifs, buts, and maybes. You do absolutes.
Exactly. So over here, are we going to do what we think Ralph's going to do, or what we would do? Because I think right now, I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a clue what he's going to do.
We just don't know. And we were implying that maybe from the presser earlier, was he basically saying that everyone's fit apart from Lianco?
That's what it sounds like, yes.
So that's implying that Peru is fit to play, right?
I would hope so. I would really, really hope so.
On that basis, I would be amazed if he played the same system as he did on Saturday.
You're right. We said it. We even said it last night. It's like against Leeds to go that defensive, but I really, from what Ralph said last night and the things that we've heard, I just think he's going to go defensive. I think he's just about not conceding goals and then seeing how that game progresses. And now he's got 5 substitutions, change it as we go on. I honestly think that's his role, right? I think that's what he wants to do right now. Even against, Monaco in the preseason, that is what we did first half. It was quite dead football at the first half, and then he made that change second half, slipped on his head and went away. And I just kind of feel like that's how we're setting up. We're going to set up with that 3 at the back and then maybe adapt it as the game goes forward.
Maybe.
I just think, knowing Ralph and that they want to drill a system in, say what you want. When we were doing the 4-2-2-2, and everyone was like, it doesn't work. He was like, no, we have to stick to this. We have to do this so everyone knows what we're doing, and then eventually it will come good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he going to go back to the 4-2-2 because we know it best and we need to stick with it, or is he being like, no, we need to be defensive. We need to shoot at the back with 3 centre backs, so we need to keep doing this week in, week out, and that's what I kind of think is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. All right then. So you reckon he might do 3 centre backs?
I think he's going to do 3 centre backs.
Ooh. All right. As it's your birthday, we'll go with that. All right. How's that sound?
Probably the worst birthday present I've ever had, but yes, I will take it.
Yeah. Just for your birthday, you're getting Wingbacks.
Right.
Do you want Gineppo?
Tomorrow when we lose 4-1 and Ralph in the presser said it was Jack's birthday, that's why I did it. Please just leave me alone, yeah? I will just get rid of Twitter. So
I mean, I'm already hating the way this is looking already.
I did think to just go 4 at the back because it'd be easier for you, but
No, it's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday.
Thank God.
We're going to sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. All the things. Have I done enough now? There we go. Right, let's move on around. Is that what we're looking at?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Gineppo has only ever played well as a wing-back, though, hasn't he? He's never done particularly well as a full-back.
Apart from those very early games, we were like, oh, this guy might have a bit of promise. Those first really, really early games. Yeah. I think, you're right. His best performances probably have been at wing-back. But like we say, Peru, I think even in this system, Peru will play it. Because, Ralph, we did play 5 at the back a few times last season to some success against Man City and, Spurs. So I can see, I think Peru and Kyle Walker-Peters will be the fullback. So that should make some people happy at least.
Yeah.
Because he's more defensive. But like when you're in that game, okay, Gineppo looked adequate going forward, but he lacked everything going back. And I just think you want a defensive, someone who knows someone who knows what he has to do to get back. Yeah. I do think Peru works going forward. It was against Brighton. Did we play 5 at the back against Brighton? Was it?
Could have done. Yeah.
There was a lot of times in that Brighton game where you had Kyle Walker-Peters absolutely going up and down that wing, and Peru sort of pushing forward but staying slightly more defensive. So if he needs to push up, he could get into the attack, but he's just slightly more reluctant to do so. So I think it'll be Peru and Kyle Walker-Peters to start on the wings.
All right, we'll go with that. Sorry, just rolling through some of the comments there. Someone alluding to the fact that imagine if he plays McCarthy, it'd be horrendous. Right, so who are you going right in the middle?
Bednarek.
It's Jack's favourite player.
Listen,
it's the kit colour, but it's also the nationality flag.
That's good for him. Twins up. Here's the thing. He's not McCarthy levels yet, but he's very close. He's real close.
Stats-wise, he's pretty bad. But
here's the thing. It's that thing of like, I remember I remember him having good games and certain, a few years ago now, some all right games, but it's just slipped away now. It's not that I really dislike Penderak like I do McCarthy. It's just like, just not. It's not your time, brother.
Right. So moving on to the right side, centre back.
I guess Bella Kotchap.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't play against Spurs really surprised me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like three at the back would be, like Ralph says, it's to help the new players ease into a role. So surely that includes Bella Kotchap in that.
I presume you're going Selassie there. Yeah.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like if Lianco was fit, maybe I would have dropped him.
Perwood. That's wrong as well, isn't it?
Come on, chat. Help us out. It's been a minute.
I've had a complete mind blank. Can't even spell my own name at risk, right? KWP.
That's nice and easy.
It is.
So I think
we're gonna. That's where it gets fun.
I think it's going to be Ward-Prowse and Romeo.
Okay. Oh, Romeo. Oh, he's a class midfielder. Oh. I put it the wrong way around, didn't I?
You can just move around.
Never gives the ball away. Sorry, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Oi. So listen to me sing.
Is that your sort of hype for new song for? Because I really was like, you know how I was feeling about the Status Quo song at Spurs. I like it. I like it. But it just annoys me that they don't use the melody properly. It just, as a Status Quo fan, it just bothers me. Okay, so just everyone listen to the song a few times.
Are you a massive Quo fan? Are you part of the Quo?
I've been to a few Quo shows in my time, and let me tell you guys,
that shocks me. I'll be honest, that shocks me.
If you like a rock and roll show, treat yourself to a night of Quo. They're loud, and every song's the same, and it's just great to have a few issues. Just get blasted and go. That shocked you that I'm a Quo fan? Outrageous, mate. I love the Quo.
Get blasted and go.
Get blasted and go to Quo.
Yeah.
Rick Parfitt and Francis Rossi are just too high level. They were the second coming of the Beatles, and no one ever gave them any credit for it.
Yeah, they both passed away, haven't they?
Just Rick.
Oh, really?
Rick. Francis Rossi's still out there. He's currently doing a spoken word tour. I don't know why I know that, but I do.
You are a massive fan.
I don't know why I know that. Do you know why I know that? It's because I saw it on where was I? I think it was in Newbury, and he's playing Newbury Town Hall, and I was like, what a weird night. Francis Rossi doing a spoken word event in Newbury Town Hall.
Yeah.
Dry. That's a rich tea biscuit with no cup of tea. That is.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Right, moving on. Should we do the front three? Now you're talking.
Yeah. So
Prowsey and Joe Aribo. That's what we do, wasn't it?
That's what we do.
Just let everyone know in the chat section as well. I have got the Twitter space rolling, so we will be going to that eventually to have some people call in and give their say on all the issues that have been going on this week with Southampton Football Club. So I will let you know when we're going and inviting people to speak on that. So, but yeah, that's just on the Matchday Vlogs. Match Vlogs at Match Vlogs on Twitter if you want to join us and have your say on current events and all things Southampton Football Club and how upset you were with the comments of Martin Simmons. I'm guessing it's probably going to be the main topic, isn't it?
Ooh, so angry.
Yeah, won't we all? So where are we going over here? You can see.
I think it almost chooses itself. I think old Jacket Potato over here has pretty much got it down. I think it's going to be Stu, Shay, and Haribo. I think Shay needs this game.
With all, on the right.
Yeah, still on the right, Joe on the left. I mean, Joe is left-footed, so I guess you could put him on the other side. But
yeah, let's go with this, Stewie.
But there's with all the talk with Shay and is he going and certain prices and Saints sort of I've seen a few things. Saints are like they want to make their money back, so it'll be like maybe 16, 15, 18 or so. I just think for Shay to come out, prove a point. Exactly, Shay McAdams. Yeah. Although what I will say, like I wanted to somebody making the case for we need a striker, and Shea's the most rounded one. And then with that, they posted a video of him scoring for Scotland, and I was like, yeah, that Shea Adams is great, but you had to post a video from Scotland. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So, let us know in the chat section what you think of that particular lineup, whether or not you completely agree, or whether or not Jack is living in an absolute mad world and there's no way he's going to be playing 3 centre-backs again.
What I will say is this comment here. Is Jack Stevens instead of Bednarak. Now, I know it sounds crazy. Jack Stevens is terrible if he just makes an appearance. But if he gets a run of games, he's a good head at the back there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed because, Bednarak is having that much of a howler and he needs to be dropped, really.
Mm-hmm.
Why not put Jack in,
Yeah, why not stick it in there?
Why not give it a go? I mean, I don't think it'll be any worse. Put it that way.
That's where we're at, isn't it?
That's where we're at. It couldn't get any worse.
Any worse, yeah.
And I've saw Jack Stevens have better performances last season. Those games against United, City. Was it City? No, what was the other game? It might have been City. He had some good performances up against some big players, and I think he quite likes being in control and knowing that he has a bit of backup either side of him.
Mm-hmm.
And with having Peru and Kyle Walker-Peters, it is kind of like it's more like a 5 at the back than a 3. You will have more cover.
Yeah.
And I think Romeo does a really good job in front of them. I think he's a really, really good CDM, but I think he got done in by having Romeo and Wolves-Prowse in front of him and not be able to figure out their role, and that tempered what he was trying to do. So maybe it's Jack Stevens, but that might be the only thing. That might be the only thing I change from here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Should we go on to our score predictions for the weekend's game? So let's bring this down. Thank you so much for all the suggestions for the lineup there. As it's your birthday, Jack, I'm going to let you go first on this.
Oh.
So I'll let you be the mad one.
I am going to go for ridiculously high expectational 2-0 to Southampton.
Ooh.
I want to shake off what's happened. If Ralph can't get a performance after that last game and be like, right, everything's against us. Look at this bad press we've had this week. This is our chance to galvanise. Leeds at home, second game, first home game of the season. The fans are going to be up for it. Even if we go 1-0 down, guys, he's trying to make sure that you sing, because if you're not up for it, the players aren't up for it, yeah? So just keep that in mind while you're there. Just keep that in mind. Don't stand up, though. Don't stand up and support, but support.
Yeah, don't go mad. Yeah.
Don't go too mad.
Just,
If you
steady.
see an away fan in the home section, just leave them alone. Just don't mention that they're there. Let them do what they want.
Sadly.
If you're sat in the Itchin North and there's away fans in the corporate boxes and you feel a hot, wet liquid come onto your back, just don't turn around. Just think, there's a microclimate. Just keep that in mind, yeah? Just keep that in mind.
And whatever happens, it is your fault.
It is, yeah, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
Are we that? We're getting to that level of saltiness now, aren't we?
Listen, mate. Martin Simmons goes to 38 games a year. Yeah, he misses his wife and kids. Son. He's has to go watch the football. Damn.
Yeah. We'll get on to that.
I'd feel worse for him if he pays
331. We're gonna get into it. I need to give my score prediction on this game. Jack has gone for an audacious 2-0. By the way, everyone in the chat session, smash in your score predictions for this game at the weekend. We will be going through those very, very shortly. But I'm going to go for an outrageous, absolutely scandalous 1-0 Southampton.
Clean sheets all round, though, so we're on the same page.
Clean sheets all round, but for me, I don't know where the goals are coming from, aside from James Ward-Prowse.
You've answered your own question, mate. There.
I have answered my own question, and maybe Joe Aribo as well.
But here's the thing, though: a Prowsey brace at St Mary's, it would set the world alight. We would be having an absolute party.
You're right. You changed my mind. I'm going 2-0.
two banging.
Because it's your birthday. It's the only reason.
The dullest game you've ever seen, than two banging free kicks. That is.
Love it.
Take me home, country road, buddy. Let's do this.
A goal from Joe Arabo and a Ward-Prowse free kick, and that'd be the perfect birthday weekend for you, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would really round things off. And I'm not saying I need it, but I need it. And
if they could get it done by 60 minutes, I'd be really happy, because I've got a Scarpa before full time. I'm just terrified of this scenario, but we'll get onto that. Let's have a look through. Red and White saying it's your fault. It is your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. T-shirt coming up soon on matchdayvlogs.com. It's your fault, Martin Simmons.
Do you want me to draw a really crude picture of Martin Simmons?
Yeah, I go 38 games, Martin Simmons. Oh man, I feel bad sticking it on the side, but I might. It's that kind of a week. Right, let's get on to the score predictions. I don't think we've got any score predictions. I don't see any numbers here. Come on.
There were some numbers. I saw some numbers. Yeah, we got some numbers.
Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Yep. Sorry, I was just rolling through them. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start with. Mark. Do I have to? 4-1 Leeds. Ouch. That's not a good start. Dan Hudson's going for 1-1 painful game. Sorry, Jack, what were you going to say?
If it gets to 4-1, I'm going to go to the Mayflower with you.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to take your ticket.
Yeah, I'd just be sat there sobbing into my own hands.
I think it'd be very, very funny if I turn up to the Mayflower and Mrs. Matchday Vlogs was like, "What are you here?" Like, Mike's gone home. Just...
You won't need to say anything. You just look at her and go, Didn't make it. Tom is going for a 1-0. Yeah, it's kind of sensible. Adrian Pascal is going for a 3-0 to Saints. Oh, I love it. Zandif with his first 9-0 of the season. Love it. Thank you so much. Anyone else think it's funny that Ralph was born on the 9th of August? Kind of cruel, that one. This now 2-1 would definitely concede. He's got a point. James 3-9. Although it depends what system we play at the back. I have to say, I think we're playing 3 centre-backs. We're in trouble. James 3957 is 2-0 as well. Look at that. Jacket Potato is going for a 3-1 or a 2-2. We'll be 2-1 up into the late stages, and then they'll press too hard and either score or concede a crappy late one. Yeah. Come on, guys, keep it light. Lord A. Benny.
Keep it light, because the next section of this video is going to go even further.
It's gonna get rich. Lord O'Benny's going for a 2-1 if we get the defense right. And I think it's done that refresh thing, so I can't see who's next.
He's done. We got.
There we go. Red and White is going for a 2-1. So don't trust our chances. Clean sheet, but I reckon we'll have enough to win. Let's hope so. There's more ideas for the t-shirts. Just keep them coming in, and actually stick them in the comment section. I'll do that thing again. Just stick your idea for a t-shirt in the comment section, and those with the most likes, I'll just make.
I'm actually starting a GoFundMe to get his kids season tickets so they can come to the game and spend more time with their papa. It's amazing he can't work that out for himself, but you know.
Indeed. Fat Saints fans going for 3-2. Romeo with a 90+1 minute winner. I'd love that, but I'd also wouldn't like that because I'm not going to be there right at the end. Pit Beale's going for a 2-1 to the Saints. Pro Clubs only. It's my birthday on Saturday. It's all our birthdays. 1-0 Saints. James Ward-Prowse 90th minute winner, and the Northern is sat down with joy. Oh dear.
That'd be that would be one of the funniest protests of when Southampton scored. It was just
yeah.
No. The Millwall man told me no.
Exactly. Sit down. If it is your fault, sit down. Yeah. Mark Richards going 1-0 Saints. Salasu finds the right end. God, that'd be good. Thank you for that. Member of the channel. Mark Richards, details how to become a member in the section below. Gonna be a boring 0-0. Oh, come on, Jack. It'll be a
Right.
clean sheet, so you know.
I didn't think I had to go this early in the season. There's a fence, right? And on this side is fine. And on this side is fine. But you cannot sit here. This one or this one. You don't sit on the fence here.
This is technically our first preview of the season, so yeah, Jack's already sort of laid out. It's Jack's birthday. You can't be predicting draws. So Jack and Potatoes changed his mind. 5-0 Saints. I need to counter some negativity here. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
look at
here
that.
we go.
Luke Bud's going for a 2-0 to Saints, and I think we're there. Right. So all in all, a bit of a mixture there, but it's going to be a tough game. But it's like you say, Jack. It's one of those games. These are the ones where we have to win.
And we have to win in this early as well, because this league is so tight now. It's not like, oh, we'll pick this up on the reverse fixture. It's like, no, you've got to get these points now because it's gonna matter.
Yeah,
it's gonna matter.
Absolutely.
Everything matters. Even Liverpool drawing against Fulham, you're like, that might come back to haunt them end of the season. Like when we get to that certain point in a bit, they're gonna be like, oh, I wish we won that game against Fulham. Like this league, you just need to be on it. You need to be on it all the time.
Absolutely. So there's our predictions for the upcoming game. Thank you so much for all of yours. I think it's about time we move on to the Saints Fan Forum. I've got a banner left up here, and I think I just might stick this up because it basically is the same thing, really, isn't it? In terms of what it was. Just to kick this off, and by the way, if you want to join in the debate, I'm going to be putting the Twitter space on, so go and jump on that, and we'll try and plug this in, and hopefully it works. And we don't get crazy feedback. We're gonna try and make it happen. But just to summarise on the Saints Fan Forum, from my perspective, I kind of think, in a certain regard, it's great that the club do it, because as they said, not a lot of clubs do it. They don't have to do it. But in a certain regard, it was pretty much a PR kind of a stunt.
Yeah.
And to have any real kind of debate, you kind of need someone from a Saints media channel, whether it be myself or Jack, or whether it be someone from the Southampton page or the Ugly Inside, on that panel to make it work. Because as you pointed out in the post-match video that we did, which we could have basically gone on for hours on that, and I don't think I really truly covered what I wanted to say on that. But I think for it to truly be an interactive thing with the fans, you kind of need the fan base amongst that panel to give a follow-up to a question. You know, in regards to some of the answers that were given, there were kind of PR-based responses that kind of sort of answered, but kind of just defended the answer. You didn't really answer the question. And I think really to have a bit of follow-up from some of those answers would have helped a lot of the fans there actually try and get their full point across, that wasn't really addressed at all. So I think it's difficult, but it'd be kind of, I don't think it will ever happen because it's already an extension of what they're supposed to do, or what they're expected to do. They're already doing more than many other clubs would be doing. So, but I think there were two things that stood out for me, and unfortunately Martin Simmons didn't come across very, very well. And in the past, let's be honest, he's done some incredible things for our football club.
Yeah,
he's found us new owners,
building up to right where we are now.
Yeah. And in terms of where we've come from, he's done an awful lot for Southampton Football Club. And I just think there were a couple of responses last night that really didn't... I could sort of see what he was trying to say, but unfortunately, it didn't come across well. And the response of a fan saying, I've seen some spineless performances. I go to 38 games last season. I spent countless amounts supporting this club. And for him to say, I do the same, is a bit of a spit in the face of the fan base. And that wasn't good. And really, he should have firstly thanked that particular fan for his support for the club, and just address the concerns, and not really say, "Oh, I do the same," and I miss. You're paid to do that. You're paid multiple figure salaries to do exactly that. And there are so many people out there in the Saints fan base community that got their own Twitter pages, that do this kind of thing, that have their podcasts, have their YouTube channels, that spend hours and thousands of pounds supporting this club. And I think that was kind of overlooked last night. And, well, it wasn't really taken as it should have been, in my opinion. But that's my 2 cents on it. I will also read through the comments that we got on the video because there's some good points in that as well. But Jack, did you have any other things to add to that?
I think like I said last night, the fact there was no debate to it kind of made it very hard for us to get points across. Like it had to be in a form of a question. Like I said, when I was there last night, Rob asked the question. They got Ralph Sweary, and Ralph and the board had every right to turn around and be like, I can't believe he's asked us like that, because it was a very hard hitting question, and if that's your job, they're not going to like that. But the answer that Rob got was just kind of a slap in the face, and I did feel if it was more, when you watch sort of, let's say, like those overlaps on Sky Sports where the fan can just sit there and talk and be like, right, this is my question, this is my grievance, let's talk about this, let's have an open conversation. But here's the thing. You're never going to get that from a Premier League club. We're lucky to get what we have. And being there on the night, when we were driving home and listening to people's, very instant reactions to it, my opinion was it's not as bad as you're all making out. And I still kind of think that, okay, when the derogatory stuff that Martin said, it wasn't good. He did really put his foot in it a lot last night. And it's very surprising from a guy who I think, like you say, a lot of the time speaks very well, and he's very diplomatic and he's very good at what he does. There's a little part of me, that little conspiracy in my head. It's just sort of like he knew Ralph was going to have a bombshell overnight, and knowing the article that came out today, it was going to be bad for him. So I think Martin was maybe I could try and take a bit of heat. Maybe if there's a part of me that thinks if I go out there tonight and spit a bit of fire, maybe I can take a little bit of the heat off of Ralph. So when that thing comes tomorrow, and let Ralph, because like I said, I thought Ralph spoke very well last night and very passionately, and he was very honest with us.
Someone said he was angry. Someone said that it wasn't passion, it was anger and frustration.
Well, you can say that, but it's being there, I saw sort of the look in his eye and the way he spoke, and I said it was the most animated that he's been in a long time. It's the most animated he's been in a long time. And I do agree that he has looked a bit of like a beaten man in recent days. And end of Spurs just going straight off down the tunnel, first game of the season, I was like, come on, dude, like you're better than this. And the reason that the fans love you, the ones that still do love you, know how much you care and do stuff. So it's hard for us to see that. But there is a little bit of me that thinks maybe it was just a little bit of cover for Ralph, like what Martin's, because it was because so out of nowhere, so out of left field. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, maybe there's something there. But I think there needed to be a bit more of a debate. I think the questions that were asked were good, but it's very hard when you're angry at so many things, or you've got so many frustrations with the clubs, and you know that you can't flat out be like, who are we signing? Where it's coming from? Why are you still picking these? It's hard to put that all into one question, which it's a shame that Adam Blackmore didn't help a bit more. I think Adam did a good job last night. I don't agree with a lot of the flack that he's been taking, because at the end of the day, he does work for the BBC. He does work for the club. When he's on like these Twitter spaces and he can speak more freely, you can tell there's a difference between that and when he's on the job. And he was very much on the job last night, and that you have to take that into account.
The problem Adam Blackmore had is the fact that he had 4 people on that panel and 1 hour and a room of 200 seething season ticket holders. It's like,
and here's the thing, I don't know what, when the panel got announced, and I saw a few fans were a bit annoyed that Marianne was going to be on their lineup, and I was like, no, ridiculous, because this is Southampton, they're a level pegging, and I want to hear from both of them. But on the night, I did instantly, when I get in the room, just be like, I don't think anyone's going to ask her any questions, because everyone's kind of positive about what she's doing, and there's no like, why are you doing this? What are you doing this? It's more maybe questions for Toby Steele and those sort of like, more, I guess, practical questions of, will you have games at St. Mary's and those sort of things. And I get why people are annoyed that we've only got an hour and we can only ask so many questions. So why do we waste time? And that's like, listen, it was BBC, and it was a publicity stunt. But at the same time, we did get to ask a few fiery questions, and we did get Ralph rattled enough to swear. So, it's there are ins and outs of it, and I think there's more to be read into a lot of the things that they said, and try to find the answers yourself. Like we were saying on the way back, like they said, nothing about transfers. Well, they said they weren't going to loan Adams, and then they made that point of, we're after certain strikers that a lot of clubs are interested in, like Man United, which kind of for me says, well, we probably were in for Dembele and that. Is it Sasa? What's the Austrian striker?
Arnautovic?
No, not him. No, not him.
I was going to say.
No, there's another Austrian, the very tall guy. I saw an article this afternoon about Ralph Rangnick telling him not to go to Man United. Ralph Rangnick hates Man United. It's great.
Okay.
But
Can't imagine why.
I know, right? But they say that, and in the room you can think, well, okay, we're all after a striker. But when I hear that, I'm like, okay, I know what kind of strikers we're after now, and I know that there was it's a target that Man United have also. That's it. It's Sasa.
There we go.
So that's
Thank
kind
you,
of
chat section coming to our rescue as always. Yeah.
There we are. So it's that I was getting things like that from it and having to read between the lines because they're never going to come out and say everything super clearly. They're just not going to do it.
6'6".
Yeah, he's massive, huge.
Wow.
You want a target man, brother. Here we are.
I love it already.
Yeah.
If he stood next to Crouchy, would he make him look short? That'd be hilarious.
They are coming near par, so it'd be pretty amazing. Yeah, imagine if we got a tool that busted out of the robot.
Imagine that.
Saints could be loads of fun. So that's some people might not have seen that. Not that, but when I listen to it, it's like that's what I got from that. It's like, listen, they're not going to tell you a transfer target straight out, but that could work. So 6'7", taller than Crouch apparently.
It's getting taller by the second on this chat session. Look at that.
Exactly.
It's taller than Crouch. There you go.
So that to me says there are things in the works. So it was to read into it. I get why people were upset because it wasn't all clear and obvious, and everyone really took to heart the bad points. Like I say, Martin Simmons really did light a fire on people last night.
Yeah. Well, there was that comment at the end where he basically said, just want to let you guys know that, when we go 1-0 down and the fans aren't behind it, the players also mirror that. And I was just thinking, why would you think that was even a remotely good thing to say? I kind of understand the sentiment he was saying, like, guys, please get behind the players. They love it when they hear your support. But just the way he worded it was just the worst possible way he could have worded it. Yeah. As if to say, when we go 1-0 down, it's your fault as well. So, make sure you put in the effort. Otherwise, we won't.
Yeah.
And that's how it came across. But I know what he was trying to say. He was basically trying to say, please get behind the guys. Because, when there's a lot of support at St Mary's and when the stadium's buzzing, it's great. But it's really not surprising. In the world of football fans, this subject drives me bonkers. And the amount of things that I see on social media, TikTok, Twitter, and whatever, saying, "Oh, the away support was dreadful," or "the home support was dreadful." The fact of the matter is, if your team are playing shocking football, you're not into it.
Yeah.
And I don't care what team we're talking about, because let's be honest, last season when Villa came to St Mary's and we went a goal up pretty quick, silence, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were completely dead.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened also with Leeds as well.
Yep.
To a lesser extent, if I'm completely honest, but it's not like they've got a lot to sing about. And I don't blame any fan base. And someone's saying about us away at Spurs, oh yeah, pretty quiet early on, but or you're pretty loud early on. It's like, well, yeah, we went 1-0 up and we were happy at the start of the game and everything was buzzing. First game of the season. But you know what? When we concede our own goal and then a fourth 2 minutes later, yeah, we're going to be a bit disheartened, So
plus, it was really hot.
It was really hot. Yeah,
it was really hot, guys. I got really look at this burn. Look at this. Look at this.
We ran out of water. It was dreadful.
There was a legitimate hosepipe ban in that section, and it was awful.
It was, but that subject just drives me out the water. It's just like, get your head out your ass. I mean, seriously, it's like, obviously, not going to be buzzing. Seeing how we're playing.
It makes no sense. But yeah, for me, it's, do you know what it is? There's two sides of a member of the board telling fans to G up. And it's Martin Simmons going, you need to do it because otherwise the players aren't into it, which is terrible. And then it's Delia Smith drunk on the pitch going, let's be having ya! There's two sides to that's tale. They're both equally as stupid as each other, but just one's a bit more lovable.
Yeah.
that's
I
what
got
it
an
is.
idea for Martin Simmons. If he wants to get the atmosphere back at St Mary's, stop pricing out the fan base.
Yep.
Stop
Don't-
pricing out the fan base. We have literally the most expensive tickets on the South Coast, and we're pretty high up there. I believe we're like maybe 9th or 10th in terms of the average high season ticket price in the Premier League. Sort it out.
And it
Sort
isn't.
it out.
It makes me questions like why in certain areas, why like why is the Northern more expensive than the Chapel?
Mm.
It's the same.
Well, they're kind of similar, but also, yeah. I mean, this issue in section 1 and 2, effectively what they could be doing, because they're basically saying we're not putting any more tickets on general sale because of the trouble, because people, away fans, are buying tickets in the home section in that area, which is complete madness. Why on earth would you do that? Effectively, just reduce those season ticket prices in that area and just fill it up with home fans.
Fill it up. Let's fill it up.
Easy.
Done. Sorted. Game
Done.
over.
Yep.
Make it super affordable to sit there. That you don't even need. You're going to take the seats out for safe standing anyway, so make it cheap. Put it over there. Like it's just.
Yeah,
it makes no sense at all.
absolutely.
And then I also, but at the same time, they always back themselves in that corner of it gets right at that end because that's what all the away fans and home fans like join together. It's like, right, okay, well you can section that off because that's why you keep making the away fans sit there.
It is.
In a perfect world, let's move the away fans down the Chapel end and we can have a big loud side of St Mary's.
But we all know that's not going to happen because
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. But you can block it off. Those fans should never be touching each other. They should never come close to each other.
Yeah, very true. Right, I'm going to throw this over to the Twitter space because there's Ben who's been listening in for over an hour. So I kind of feel, Ben, I'm going to invite you to speak because if you don't want to speak, that's absolutely fine. But I just, you've been in that Twitter space for a long, long time. So I'm going to try and plug you in and let's see what happens. You ready? Let's see if I can do this. Invite to speak. I think we're there.
We were listening to that space on the way home last night, and there was a lot of this. You're on.
You're on. There we go.
You're on.
Can you mute you, Jack?
Hey, I hear a voice.
There we go. Ben, welcome to the channel. You're the first on this.
I've got the YouTube on as well.
Fantastic stuff. Firstly, were you at the fan forum last night, or did you watch it online?
No. I was watching online because I live like 2 hours away from the ground.
Ah, okay. What was your kind of overall feeling from the panel in terms of their questions, and also what was your feeling in terms of the questions that were given?
Questions that were asked were, from what I could tell, impeccable. Like the one I saw that made me like clap even at home was them saying it feels like a diss at the fan base about Itching North.
Yeah.
But I've got my first season ticket this season.
Welcome along.
Where I'm seated, I'm diagonally opposite because I've just got edge of family, so I can see everything that's going on in Itching North.
Okay, yeah.
This season's going to be pretty fun, watching everyone get picked out for standing up.
Yeah, I mean, basically what they're implying, for those that haven't read the email that went out to all season ticket holders, they're basically going to be enforcing sitting. I have no idea how they're going to do this. For me, it's something
that you can't get
that
a whole stand to sit down.
No,
you can't stop a whole stand from sitting down.
Yeah. Exactly that. So they're going to be putting it out to a committee to talk about which sections are going to have safe standing. But for me, it's pretty obvious where safe standing should be. It should be in the Itching North and the Northern Straight Away.
Itching North, like from the corner of the edge of Kingsland to Itching North, that should all be safe standing.
Yeah, including the away section. It's very easy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, obviously, because no one sits down on an away end on an away day. If you do, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Not even being on an away day.
I think we only had Watford do that, but they had a lot of families
Watford.
coming. There we go. Awesome. And in terms of your hopes for this weekend, Ben, Are you
Well,
feeling positive?
No, but I'm probably the most optimistic Saints fan that's ever been met. To the point where a fan has said he'd buy me a plane ticket if we get Europe. That's how optimistic I got.
Okay, I like it.
Um, from what I saw on Saturday on Match of the Day and listening after work,
Brave man.
was yeah. I've even when we lose, I watch Match of the Day because I've just always done it. But what I was listening to it after work, and I was cycling home and I was listening to it, and from what I heard, Bazunu was surprisingly amazing.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because obviously let in 4 goals, but from what I heard, they were like top corner ish goals.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he's forcing players to play in positions they're not used to is they need to practice that during the week.
Yeah.
Or to help them adjust.
So what you're saying is basically we've got lots of players being played out of position in systems that they don't fully understand. Yeah, is that fair?
Yes. If I see Ralph play 4-2-2-2-2 on Saturday, I can see us winning.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
But
Jack's not.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Of course, it's not going to happen. Of course, it's not going to happen. But if it happens, I can see us winning.
There we go. And do you have a score prediction?
2-1. But at this second in time, I don't know who to. But no, I can. I feel like because he's playing it around Lavia. Like he's made this whole thing around Lavia. If he adjusted it, like so, it was around like Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Aribo, and probably like Kyle Walker-Peters. So it fitted all of those players together, we'd easily win games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then you've got like the attacking players and the defensive players, like the formation around everyone else, suiting those players to actually help us score goals.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we've got some exciting players like Joe Aribo and Romeo Lavia. He's looking pretty sparky, but awesome stuff. Awesome. Well, thanks for dropping on, Ben. We'll be doing these kind of things again for future episodes. But yeah, no, thanks for your comments. Really appreciate that.
No problem.
All right. Cheers, bud.
All right.
There we go.
You know, I'm struggling now. This feedback.
There is
feedback. There's a problem.
How have I done that? Oh, there we go. I've done it now.
Yeah, just quiet me down over there. Just quiet me down over there on there.
There you go. I've unplugged there.
But
thanks, Ben. Really appreciate that.
Ben's right in everything he says. Like there seems to be simple solutions for a lot of the stuff, and there's a bit of a stubbornness there to it. But you know, Jack Potato is right. Everyone was complaining about the 4-2-2-2 until we differ from complaining there's a second way of playing until we differ from it. Like you can't have it every way. You can't expect Ralph to have multiple game plans. Then when he tries that game plan and it doesn't work, he's just like, he's over. It's like, no, we've got to try and get this in there. So that's why there is that for me that that backing of it a little bit more of trying to just trying to get it involved.
Our last win, we did this system.
Exactly. That's City. We did the system and it looked good. But then again, we did it at Wolves and it was terrible. Like there are all it's up and down. It's the same as everything for Southampton. It's just a real lack of inconsistency, and I don't understand how we can find those forms of consistency when we do play well, and then not understand how to get back there or what it took to achieve that. And that's where it comes down for a mentality thing. And I guess that also comes into this Daily Mail article that's been dropped today.
Yes.
That's an interesting read for sure.
Definitely one. I just want to read through some of the other comments from the video that I did. I should be way more prepared than this one.
No, this is people are here from the rough and ready. I mean, you've got like when you listen to Total Saints and you're like, yeah, Martin Stark's a pro, and then you watch us and you're like, yeah, this is grittier. This is grittier.
This is
Not better, but grittier.
They've definitely got day jobs, kind of a setup. So, don't play that. What are you doing? Right, right. Let's go to the comment section. Okay, because there were quite a few good ones in there. Thanks everyone for the comments on the video. There's one here from Greg Cesar. I felt the forum was pointless. They only answered questions they wanted to and swerved anything that was close to the bone. Adam Blackmore did the usual waffling, and despite promising to hold their feet to the fire, kissed their collective ass. The whole thing left me cringing. Also, Ralph didn't seem passionate. He seemed angry and tetchy. I did allude to that earlier. I think in terms of, again, I'll say it again, it was the time frame. If you got 1 hour, 4 people on the panel list, 200 people in the room, and it was just never going to work. And I kind of wish they had received the questions prior and filtered to the ones that were really going to stir it up.
I wish they had just almost like when you see it like comic conventions when they have just a microphone and you line up behind it.
Right. Yeah.
So you can just stand in front of that microphone.
You don't leave until you got your answer. Yeah.
And you can back and forth it. That is really the way to do it. The problem is those events take hours, 3 hours, 4. Like they take a lot longer than an hour. And you know, and also like I say, there was a few representatives there. If we had all got asked the questions that we really wanted to ask, there was no point of Toby Steele or Marianne to be there. No point being there. It should have just been Ralph and Martin Simmons.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you know what? Maybe Ward Prowse. Because I also would have had have a player's perspective of having real fan questions asked and be like, listen, what happens on that pitch? Oh yeah, oh my God. Can we all agree when we were in the room, everyone in that room was like, why have you just asked about a testimonial when you know it's the last question? Fair play. I get it. But what a dumb question! Like I get it.
There are no dumb questions.
There are some dumb questions, and that was one of them. But let's be fair. You know, every so often you got to hit a light ball in there, and someone's going to ask that. But maybe let's
not forget the first question was, how did the B team get on today? Didn't play today. All right, cool.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. But yeah, that's what I mean. There were things like that, and sort of just misfire things, but. I say it's hard to formulate a question when you have 1,000 questions.
Yeah.
When it needs a longer time and it almost needs Martin Simmons to come on something like this or like Total Saints with a few posts. You're like, right, we're going to ask you a lot of questions and so we can back and forth this. Yeah. It's never going to happen, you know. But like I said, when we were leaving, I messaged my friend Ian, who's a Man United fan, and was like, you know, I was just at a forum with the CEO of the club and the manager, and you know, they were standing around talking to people afterwards for, I guess, what sounded like a good half an hour, 45 minutes after the forum finished. You know, Martin Simmons was still and Toby still was still on the floor answering questions. So, you know, if you just listened to the forum, you wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Rob spoke to Martin after that, and I can't quite remember what he said. But, you know, he did have a second conversation with him. So there was a bit more to it than what you all saw. What you all saw was an aired production for the BBC. It was never going to be what you want. And if you didn't get answers out of it, that's kind of on you for not reading it, not listening, and not. There's a lot of Saints fans who I saw that were firing off about it. And I was like, I feel like you heard the thing that you didn't want to hear. And you've really focused in on that, and you've not stepped back and gone, what are they saying here? Listen to it again, like when they actually talk about the waffle. And it is because they waffled.
Yeah.
I mean, you waffle off like that, and you go into sort of like.
I waffle. To be fair. It's only natural when you stick a microphone in front of someone. They just kind of like a blah, 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 and throw a few words in there. It happens.
And also, they're also not talkers. How many podcasts do you see Ralph Hasenhüttl do? How many live shows? You know, we do this all the time, and we talk absolute nonsense most of the time. And every so often, the gem pops out, and that's what you've got to do. That's what you've got to do there. You've got to listen through. You've got to listen to the waffle, and eventually be like, "Oh, there was a thing that he said there. What does that mean?" And so try and break it down. So, you know, that's
right. Exactly
that's kind of what I got out of it.
There was another comment which I liked from Talking Taco 122. Love these names. We need to buy natural leaders, not experienced players. That's a great comment. Because as I alluded to on the video last night, it's a case of I just don't think it's realistic that we're going to be able to buy experienced players. We're just not going to be able to do that. We might be able to get a loan from an experienced player on the way down in his career, but I just don't see any kind of realistic Premier League experience that's Premier League quality coming to Southampton. I mean, Theo Walcott, what happened?
That was one of the things last night we were listening to on the way home. We were listening to one of the spaces, and they were saying that we only have one model for transfers. We've only got one model, and that's what we're doing. It's like Martin Semmens did say that we have other models, and
sorry, I'm just blocking. Just blocking Andy Hill. I'm not in the mood. Get out.
We have this model that we know of: buy young players, move it up, and do this. But he did also mention that there are other models and what they're, there are definitely parameters that they have for other players and what they can do for a club. And we don't need experienced players. We just need good players. We need players that are performing to a level, someone that we can do something with. So there was stuff that was said there, and you just have to read into it. And I think the transfer thing was one of them. There are other models there, and I think other people kind of heard the one model and didn't listen to the bit where he's like, there are other models. We just don't tell you what they are because we're trying to buy these. We're trying to buy certain players, and we have to keep it.
Negotiate.
Martin Semmens always said we're going to keep everything quiet. Every transfer is going to be quiet, and when we get it done, we'll try and get it done quickly. Yeah. And there are a few things that we've heard that we've lost and forgot, but there's still a few weeks left. What was weird was Martin said the transfer window should end first game.
Yeah.
But then was like, but we've got 3 weeks. It's like, could have got that done a bit quicker.
Long time. Could have got that long time. Could
have got that done a bit quicker then, but that's fine. Yeah. And Ralph is a man with his hands tied.
He is. Comment here from Matthew Emerson. This is going back to last night's video again. I thought some of the questions were harsh, but I understand the fans' frustration. But I thought Ralph answered them well. Robin Peters saying, you're both level-headed and understand both sides of what supporters think. I'm a glass half full, but there are some that want to hang themselves. The manager showed passion and anger this evening, which was good, and I guess he has picked up on the negativity, even though he shouldn't read the online stuff. No, don't go on Twitter, Ralph, whatever you do. It's not a good place.
That's the thing. That last night on Twitter when we were coming home and we were listening to the spaces, there was a big part of people like, oh, it was better during the Poch years. And the Coman's like, right, okay. Yeah, the Poch and the Coman years were real highs for Southampton. They were the best. They were the best that it's gotten, and it was amazing.
Look at the players.
But where were you guys through the League One years, the liquidation years, Gordon Strachan years?
Are we going to have a club years?
Exactly.
Years?
There's so much. There's so much like there, and
Bednarek, take him.
Yeah, I hear you're taking Bednarek and McCarthy this summer.
You want to complete when you get Bednarek, just shout bingo. There you go. Sorry, Jack. Where were you?
Yeah, there was just a bit of the fan base last night. I'm glad. I was quite pleased when I looked at that video earlier. To be fair, I didn't realize you posted that video last night. So when I looked at the comments, like, oh, it's nice that people think we're level-headed, and I think that's you got to be right now. You have to be somewhat level-headed because it's the first game of the season. We're Southampton.
I'll be honest with you.
I've been here before.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I nearly didn't post it.
Yeah, there was a little
because
looking back and watching it, there was a part of me that I thought the Saints fan base watch this. How we're kind of like, it was good tonight. Like what it was said. I thought they were going to kick off, but watching it back, I'm like, no, we're level-headed here, and everything we're saying makes sense.
Yeah, and also I think the fan forum might have started off better if there had been some. I don't know what some fans were expecting, because I kind of saw it as like a PR stunt thing, and just kind of an opportunity for some to vent their frustration and put some tough questions to Ralph. But I really wasn't expecting anything much from last night, if I'm honest. So maybe that's wrong of me to have that kind of impression, but I really didn't see us getting into any kind of big details. So it was just purely kind of like a reflection of, okay, this is what the night was like. This is what was tackled. There were some things mentioned. But, maybe we could have gone into a bit more detail. But, hey, we just walked out of a room and spoke to a GoPro for 4 minutes. What do you expect? So it is what it is.
I feel like the atmosphere in the room was somewhat positive leaving. And it's only reactions from the outside that I was like, oh, people seem to be angrier. I mean, bless Rob sat in front of us. I think he had taken a heart, his answer to his question. It'd be good to sort of have a good chat to Rob and see what he has to say. It might be worth giving him a little message if he wants to come and have a good chat about it. But it's I get his frustration.
Any fan last season, I mean, I didn't go to all the away games, but any fan that went to a game like Burnley away,
which you did go to be fair,
which I did go to, which was horrendous. So all those kinds of things, and I'm thinking all the other away games that were kind of like that, like Brentford away. I mean, I was gutted we missed out on those tickets, but so glad after that result came in. It's just games like that, and I'm just thinking if I'd been to that many more away games and had those kind of experiences, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. To have that kind of feeling, and that, because it's taking a lot of time out of your life to support a football club, and when you don't see that care and that determination, and you don't think that they're fully at it and you're fully at it with your wallet, because let's face it, a lot of these people are spending 25-30% of their annual income in supporting Southampton Football Club. That's in by no means an exaggeration. I think Rob was saying that he spent what, 4 or 5 grand last year on supporting Southampton. Yep. All this stuff costs money. It's our own choice to do so. We could be choosing to do other things, but we choose to support the club that we love. And there's a lot of money and time being thrown at this. And so I think that's really where the frustration comes from. And as I said, I don't blame him at all for feeling in that way, because I would be pretty miffed. But there we go.
Well, here's the thing, I've been at, we buy our season tickets. I've been amazingly annoyed just have to go to Southampton after certain performances.
Right.
When we were coming back from Wolves, I was like, why did we just come all the way to Wolves just to see a ping of a free kick? Like, it was,
it's
you
the most amazing
days.
Ward-Prowse free kick of the season. So there was that.
There was that, but at the same time, I had the worst pie I've had at any football ground.
That was bad.
Sorry, but Wolverhampton is a dump, and and they had pictures of toasters on their wall that no one could explain.
Yeah.
Listen, just pick up your rubbish, Wolverhampton. Just go out of rubbish.
Out of Birmingham is
just do it.
Yeah.
Just get a litter picker and a bin bag and just clean it up a bit.
But how friendly were the people?
So people were super friendly.
They were super friendly.
Apart from those kids on the electric scooter that tried to run out and go out in front of the car and gave you a bit of lip. Apart from them,
I don't even remember those.
Do you not remember that? There was just a bunch of kids on their electric scooters just jumping into the road. It was
flipping out. I must have blacked out at that point. I would have been living.
Yeah, you hit him. I wondered why you drove away.
Oh dear. Right. We'll be doing statements after the show. Awesome. I think we've pretty much exhausted it. I mean, I'm just going to have a quick scroll through some of the comments. I mean, there is one big elephant in the room, which is that is it the Daily Mail that had an article of factual consequence? Is it really something? But basically alluding to the fact that some senior players at St Mary's were at Southampton Football Club were surprised that Ralph wasn't sacked over the summer, and we're kind of expecting to have not only a new coaching staff but a new manager this season. I don't know what to make of this. I think I could see it being true in terms of some of the things that we've seen recently, but I don't know. I mean, for one, if you're a senior player at Southampton and you're talking to the press and do those kind of things, get out of the club. And two, I just think it's a bit weird. The timing of it as well.
It was the time of it was really weird, but also was very strange timing today. I don't know if you saw, but Charlie Austin did a ask me anything on Twitter today, and somebody said why all the hate for Southampton all the time. He just said I don't like the manager, and then
he said I don't. It's the manager.
It's the manager. I don't. It's the manager. And I saw that. I was like,
Is he the senior player?
But here's the thing: when Charlie Austin left, right, we all kind of agreed that it's because he didn't want to run, he didn't like this new system, and Ralph would have told him that.
Yeah.
And I kind of just feel that maybe if there are 5 or 6 players in this squad that have that same kind of mentality, and they've been told over and over and again to do something, and they're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of see that bubbling up. And there's certain players, I don't want to name names, but I'll put McCarthy and Bednarak in there. And I will also, you know what? I will also put Nathan Redmond in there. I will also put Nathan Redmond in there.
No, not having
because, it. No, listen, I'll put Nathan, because there was that stretch where he didn't get played, right? Where he wasn't injured and he didn't get played, and there was family, there was certain things, and even now he's not starting. And now, and we, like you say, every so often Redmond tries 100 things, and one of those things will come off in 99. But those, but he will try stuff. I just kind of feel like there might be a position there where Ralph's told him to do something, he doesn't fit that. So every so often in the game, he will do something, and it does work. And Ralph just be like, do this every game, and he just can't maintain it. There's the thing with Redmond. I think he is a good player, but I don't think he's consistent enough and can do it in those stretches. And there's a part of me that thinks, what if he's one of those guys? What if he's a bit like Austin? What if the senior players that we do have in this team are like that? Because they're like, I can't keep doing the style of play, and it fatigues me towards the end of the season.
Well, Redmond's got a thing where he can't play on artificial pitches, hasn't he? Because he's too injury prone on that.
Exactly.
Comment here from Charlie Austin is a numpty. Pardon my French. Is numpty a friend? Numpty.
Yeah. And it's just like when I see this article of there are certain senior players in the squad that aren't happy, it's like, right, well, I don't think that's Ward-Prowse.
No.
Right? And I don't think it's Romeo.
No.
And I don't think it's Elianusi, and I don't think it's Stuart Armstrong. It could be Adam Armstrong, and it could be Shea Adams.
Oh.
And it could, and I start to think of certain players, and I'm like, it's the ones that aren't performing.
Yeah, I don't want to name names. Everyone knew the names you'd say. Fully agree, though. You've named a few more since you've named the other
exactly.
names.
Like,
so the first statement, I don't want to name names.
I am now.
And you have.
I'm here and I'm doing it now. I'm just diving in.
Birthday. Do it, mate. It's fine.
It's my birthday, and I'll cry if I want to. So, there's a part of me that thinks, we were talking about this last night when we were driving home. Ralph does wonders with the squad that he has got.
Yeah, agreed.
And we wonder why there isn't consistency. And is that consistency because there are senior players in the squad that don't want to play the style?
Yeah.
And they've now had this long with it, and they've been punished by it, and their mentalities are that low with it that even if they are given what Ralph says is 100%, it's just not there.
But there are fans out there that would hate us for saying that, in the sense that Ralph's not had much. He's had money to spend. He's had investment in the squad, but in terms of investment, I just think the level of investment has moved on so far ahead. Yeah. It's irrelevant now. Talking about signing players for between £5 and £10 million. We were doing that like 6 years ago. And, players weren't being sold for 100 million, 50 million for right backs, and like defenders going for 70, 80 million. This is a different time. Yet we're still having the same level of expenditure on these players. So it's just
yeah. But it's just, I hear senior players, and I look at some of the players that are on the chopping block, and I'm like, that makes sense to me. Now, listen, like we do say, take it with a pinch of salt. It is the mail, but from certain articles that I've seen and reports that I've had, the author of said article has actually done some pretty okay Southampton stuff, and has been quite up on certain transfers and bits and bobs. So I've seen. Put it this way, I've seen people who I think on certain Southampton fans that I'm like, I trust their opinion, I like what they say. And they tend to have good information, have all sort of said this or certain offers isn't too bad. So I feel like there's a bit of truth to it, and there's a bit of everything. But there's also, it's because I look at, let's say, United. United's perfect. All the leaks they've got, that power of the dressing room, what happens there, and it's awful, and I hate that, and that's why I really hate this character. The Man United. I don't like that sort of style of players.
Yeah.
And because I love our team, and for the longest time, when it was working, I was like, yeah, these boys are on it, and they're all on it, and they like each other, and they'll follow the system. And then you see that consistency go away. It's like, okay, are they not being coached properly, or do they not believe in the system?
Both.
exactly. And that's why there's an argument for both sides of it. And it's like, like I said, people will be angry for us saying that. But have you ever seen Ralph really, really, really call out certain players? I mean, like Brozier the other night, it's Brozier, really.
Yeah, he really did call out Brozier in the sense that it's a shame he can perform in the second half. It's kind of but there we go. Mark's got a comment here. I love these videos. Thank you so much, Mark. I hope you get away fans in soon to get a look at what the other fans think of the upcoming games. I'll be honest with you, with all the stuff that was going on this week, I had fully intended to have at least one Leeds United fan come on this show, but we will be doing some more previews with away fans coming in, because it's always get good insight in terms of
it's always good to keep an eye out on the story and Instagram story, because it's more than likely me and Michael go on somebody else's channel and we can get it all sort of from there and have a bit of debate. So
yeah, but it's also great to get them on here and have a chat and do all those kind of things. But yeah, no, sounds good. I'm exhausted. Is there anyone on the Twitter world that wanted to say anything? I think they can do like a request to speak. I think there's someone who's in there. I'm not sure who requests to speak. Just do you stick your hand up? I don't know. But yeah, if anyone else is out there that they want to come on the show, the Twitter space is open. I think Aiden's listening there. Aiden, did you want to say anything? I think they can do a little thumbs up just to... Oh, does Ben want to speak again? Ben is waving. Right, we're going to bring Ben back on. Here we go. Plugging it in.
Silent.
Invite to speak. Is Ben coming back? Should be live. Is that working?
Are you on mute, Ben?
I think you might be done.
I don't know. These high-tech spaces.
I just unmuted.
There we go. Ben is back. Go ahead, Ben. You're live on air.
Just wanted to say, as of my score prediction earlier, like I said, 2-1. Don't do 2 yet, but come back to me at halftime on Saturday, and I'm sure I'll have an answer.
I like it. That is very, very good. Cool, excellent. Any other final thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, there was something I saw on, like, as we were saying about the Daily Mail article.
Mm-hmm.
Who could it have been?
Sorry, say again.
Who could it have been?
Yeah, well, we've just been...
It would have had to be someone there, like, now, surely.
I guess so. I mean, I think Jack was alluding to the point that it might be one of those players that thinks he's a bit out of favour, whether it could be an Adam Armstrong, whether it could be a Nathan Redmond, where they're not getting the game time. It's kind of an interesting one, really, but yeah, I guess we don't know, or it could all be rubbish.
Theo Walcott ain't got nothing to say. He's got nothing to say. If he wanted something to say, he can get off the injury bench and say it.
Yeah, he has to go. He's since Forster left, I think he's become our most paid player, and he doesn't even play.
It's mental. It's absolutely mental.
And like, I feel like who was it? I saw something that someone. It was like Ward-Prowse gets like 20k a week or something like that.
No, Ward-Prowse gets a lot more than that. I think you'd stick an extra
something like that. It might
120.
But it was like, there's someone that it was Livramento gets 5k, something like that.
Yeah, I guess he would have been on a lower wage, but he's starting from a different position, so I certainly see about that.
I did see also about more fan bars being opened, specifically around Kingsland and Chapel.
Yeah.
And that they're going to let you go out to the gas fan bar. They're going to, like, on that corner at half time.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Like
they've adding a few more food stands and a few more things like that. So yeah, that's definitely happening, which is good.
Yeah, I feel like they need more things like that. I remember a few seasons ago they had someone walking around at like half time with like a cart with drinks and programs on it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they would likely have people selling programs around the ground. But I guess they kind of improved their match day experience. And I think also, going back to what Toby Steele was saying about, the safe standing and trying to make it a safer environment. I understand what they're trying to do in the sense of, not selling anything on blocks 1 and 2 to putting them on general sale, because the reality is they're going to be bought by away fans. So I understand the measures that have been taken, but I just resented it's the home fans' fault, which just seemed to come through. I'm not sure if he actually said those words, but it was kind of like it's up to the home support to behave or something like that. Have I heard that, Jack, wrong? Is that fair? Did you hear that?
It's about right.
Yeah.
I honestly think they're just putting those bars out there just to, it's the only way to get through it.
Yeah.
More alcohol. Just getting plevered, getting plastered.
Yeah.
On the upside, to really raise morale, I do believe the half-time relays back.
Whee.
So if seeing a kid slip on the wet grass and falling over doesn't cheer you up, I don't know what will.
If you don't laugh at children falling over, you're not human.
No, it's the funniest thing. Don't care what the situation is.
That's gonna go up.
Yeah.
When we're losing like 5-0 to Chelsea at half time.
Awesome stuff.
Bringing up a few previous scores there.
Indeed. Good stuff.
I feel like they need to do more things that get the fans invested. Like when I went to the Liverpool game, they had I was in where they were doing like shirt throws. Like they had like shirt cannons and they were throwing kits and memorabilia. They need to do more stuff like that around the ground.
Yeah, not just the chapel end. That's what tears fans apart, when they're getting free t-shirts at the chapel end and we're sat there bone dry.
Yeah, that was a bit rough. Yeah, we didn't get anything, did we?
They need to do stuff like that all around the ground and do stuff with the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Completely agree.
Like if they went around the ground and did like stuff like that, then that'd be decent. And I also remember they lifted up like these signs that had like different colors on them to make like a pattern. If they did that around the ground, that probably look good as well. Stuff like just the small things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we had that on a couple of occasions, but yeah, no, those kind of things help with the pre-match experience. I still think Saints brass coming into the stadium, absolutely love that. I think that's an absolute genius move. Whoever finally decided to do that. I'm going to take credit for that because I did actually put that on Twitter quite a few seasons ago, but just throwing it out there. But yeah, good stuff. Awesome.
It's just the small things to help the atmosphere around the whole ground.
Yeah, which is what we need to be doing. Let me ask you a question, Ben. Are you in favour, because quite a few grounds in the Premier League do this, we don't, but when we score a goal, do you think we should play music?
I feel like depending on the game.
Okay.
I feel like if it was against a bigger side that we know we don't actually have a high chance against, it would help with everyone's optimism.
Okay.
But if it was against someone who isn't at like probably our level, it would also be good. But anyone that's like we know we're easily going to beat.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I feel like there's no point.
Yeah, I kind of see that. I mean, I think when we went 1-0 up against Man City, I think, the stadium was absolutely rocking. I think most people were in absolute shock. And the stadium was absolutely buzzing. So if I'm honest, I'll probably go the opposite. I think it's more to do with those kind of, mundane games. But I don't think we should do it anyway. But I think because Leicester do it, Wolves do it. Who else does it? Anyone else, chat?
Do West Ham do it?
The
bubbles come out, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like bubble machines or something like that.
Yeah. Cool.
But I feel like it would help I feel like if they did it in the season after COVID, then it would have helped fans. Like when everyone was back in the stadium, then it would have helped with everything. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then it would have got us back into that feeling of we're back, deal with it.
Yeah.
I think we should have a Saints brass member sat with every single ball boy, and then when we score, they just start.
Yeah, or just leave some of the bass drums around for us to fum 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 fum. You know, because it was at the Euros. You know, there were definitely bass drums where we were sat. I thought, leave those there, leave them there.
I feel like if Saints brass started playing after a goal, just like started off when the Saints, and then let the fans do the rest.
Okay, yeah, I think that what they do at the start is brilliant. I do like it.
Oh, I love that where they have like the flames going up on Kingsland's side.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good.
Felt a lot of heat on that Liverpool game.
Yeah,
I was sat in Kingsland, so I felt I was just getting wafted with heat.
It was pretty warm that night anyway. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Ben. We do appreciate that. But yeah, thanks for listening on, and feel free to come back in future.
Entertaining for everyone who can't listen, who can't enjoy.
Yeah, no, brilliant, cool, and we'll see you at St Mary's.
Hopefully.
All right then. See you later, buddy.
What I would like at St Mary's is maybe just a James Ward-Prowse free kick drum.
Okay.
Just for the pure intimidation factor, because I feel like he scores more when we all do the build-up clap.
Oh yeah,
build-up clap comes in, he seems to score more. So if we just had the drum, it's not used for anything else. We all just agree that's the Ward-Prowse drum. That's all it is. No one, we don't use it any other time. It's just for Ward-Prowse free kicks.
I just read in the comment here, Mike looks shattered. I'm exhausted. I won't lie. It's really hot in this studio. It's how warm's it in yours? I reckon it's probably about 35 in here.
Hot.
Hey, back in my 30s. Awesome stuff. Right.
Still surfing the sweet twatties over here, bro. Never leaving.
Look at that. Look at that.
If you didn't know, guys, by the way, you can get 2 years back from your birth certificate if you get a rebate at the it's just you just go down to any depot, any sort of sorting office, any post office, and they will give you a rebate on your birth certificate. So I'm actually 26 today.
Nice work. Awesome. Right, well, I'm going to close off there because I think we were supposed to be talking about Leeds, and I think we probably spent 10 minutes out of this hour and 40 talking about Leeds. So for any Leeds fans watching this, to trying to get any insight on the mess as it is at Southampton Football Club at the moment, you've probably got more insight on Southampton than you have on anything on your own team. You should know about your own team anyway, to be honest with you. But for any Saints fans who want to know a bit about Leeds, we're deeply sorry.
This 1 hour 37. This 1 hour 37 should give you a clear indication of what a hot mess it is over here right now, and how none of us know what's going on. And I think this is just pretty much an hour and a half of us trying to put out a little bit of fire, hoping that we can come together on Saturday and just get the house rocking. Because remember, we don't do it, it's our fault we lose.
Yeah.
So just remember that.
Just that is the note we should end on. If it's going badly, it's your fault. There we go.
Whenever you're in your lowest moments, remember Martin Sammy says it's your fault.
Oh dear. Come on, you Reds, Jeremy hat trick in the 9-0 thrashing. Yes, that's the spirit. Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much to everyone who's joined us here on the live broadcast. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined us on the Twitter space and joined us for the participation for coming on the show. We'll be doing more of that, and I'll certainly leave that up for future previews because I think it's a nice, easy way to get people to join and have their say. But all that leaves for me to say is remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And me and Jack will see you in the next one. Right, see ya.